This is the Tomahawk in question. Let's get some measurements on the Tomahawk. First, we have the spike portion here. It is roughly 2 inches from the tip of the spike to the base of the where the handle runs through. Then the cutting bit, we've got, it is 3 inches long from there to there, from the handle to the edge. And I have reprofiled it down to, it is 1 3/4 inches wide this way. So that has cut down a good bit of weight. I haven't got to weigh this yet. I'm anxious to weigh it. I don't have a good set of digital scales to put this on yet. Go over my carry setup, which is just the bungee. As you can see, it stretches. Just slide that in like that. Pull that over like that, and there you have it. This, you can either rig to static line it to your belt, to a belt loop, something like that, and take another loop of paracord, which that's all this is a one continuous loop crisscrossed in the middle, and then I wrapped it around. A quick, easy knot to do when you have this is you take your loop through this loop, so you got 2 loops. I'm going to run this through once, under and through twice. So you see what we got there. See how the lines are moving here. That gives us this. And this is a Prusik. So when this is cinched and this is hanging down, this will not pull this way and it will not pull that way. You have to pinch the knot and push it, or pinch it and pull it back, because this way it will not pull, and this way it will not pull. You got to do that. That is a Prusik knot. So what I did, I reground this portion. I didn't do anything to the spike except resharpen it. It is double beveled on each side. Material has been removed to bring it significantly down in that direction. It did have a somewhat lobe shape on the top, and I cut that off and then flattened this down, gave it just a wee little bit of a curve right here. I don't even think you might be able to tell. And that has made this very significantly lighter, just taking that lobe section off the top. And it has also aided in the retraction of this part of the Tomahawk. Whenever you sink it into something like a watermelon or a pumpkin or something like that, or something with flesh and bone like a turkey, you can stick it in and pull it out real quick. And with the reduction in weight, it helps with the quickness of the movements that you can make with the Tomahawk. Now let's start with the modifications on the handle. We'll start with the wrap here. This is an overswing wrap. What this is doing is, if my finger is a piece of wood or whatever, and I'm swinging at it and I miss, and I hit this part of my Tomahawk, I don't want the weight of the head of the Tomahawk to crack or break, snap off this portion of the handle, because it tapers up and gets a little bit thinner up here as it goes through. And just that reminded me, whenever I got this, the head was a little bit loose. So I lucked out and I was able to go in my grandfather's shed and find period accurate blacksmith nails, the one in the middle here. I sanded it up, and I drilled a very shallow, small pilot hole to get it started in there. I melted some beeswax into that pilot hole and then drove it down in, and it worked wonderfully. So back to the handle wrap, the overswing wrap. So if I was swinging at my finger and missed, I would hit that wrap instead of just the bare handle. And the wrap itself is there. First, there's some 25-pound tarred bank line, 25-pound test underneath this, wrapped around, and then this is jute twine, then wrapped around that, and then I melted beeswax and poured it over this, and this is what we have, and it works great. Now, on to this section of the handle. This was a round handle. It was round. So what I did is I flattened this, both sides, and then I flattened the edges. The reason for that is when you slide this into your pants, if you choose to carry it that way, when you slide it into your pants, it sits flush against your body, as to where if it was rounded, it would want to roll back and forth against your body. So rather than that, it sits flush. And then for aesthetic purposes, I tapered the end here. I thought that would look nice. And then I burnt the hickory handle here. And it's nice straight grain, should be very, very strong. And I've been doing some chopping with it. And in the previous video, I chopped through a 2x4 in like 40 seconds, I believe, maybe a little bit less. So what I did here is I just turned my stove burner on high, got it red hot, and then laid this across it in different angles to get different burn patterns. And whenever I did the first one, then what I would do would be sand that down. 3 sets on here, and I would put one set down and then sand it till it was light, put a second set down and sand it till it was a little bit darker than what I previously sanded, and then put a third set down that I don't sand much at all. My handle is about, I did taper it just a slight bit on the so there wasn't like a sharp corner here, so I took the corners off. So it's right around 3/4 of an inch thick, and it's about an inch wide. My overall length is 13 3/4 inches. And did I mention it's Molly compatible? Thanks for joining me, gang. Until next time, peace out.